Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast where we talk about video games and more. Today I am joined by my fellow co-host Logan Brewer and our special guest today, Logan Smith.
What's up, everyone?
Hello, everyone.
So
guys. Logan, it's very good to have you. We'll be a little confusing having two Logans, so guy, just call me Brewer as you usually do.
So true.
So we're very happy to have you on tonight, but I just have a quick question for you as we're starting this. Why are you eating sand?
'Cause it tastes good, alright? I have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I support you, you go girl, but that gives me an idea we should talk about tonight, speaking of sand.
And what's that, Dirt Eater?
Guys, we should talk about Sandbox video games and why they're epic awesome.
You know what, Dirt Eater? That's a great idea. What do you think about that, Sand Eater?
Good. Sounds good, my man.
I like that. So let's get on with it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be talking about Sandbox video games today. But before we do that, as per normal for our guest episodes, which we actually haven't done in a while, surprisingly.
Oh yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. But we're going to be asking three big questions. Well, not really big, but just three simple questions for our guest to answer before we get into the main topic. So I will start with the first one being, Logan, what's your favorite game?
Okay, so I'm a weird person in the fact that for a lot of things, I don't really have favorites. But I guess if I had to choose a game I've put probably the most time into recently, it would probably be Satisfactory, if you know what that game is.
Yeah,
you've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
And if it's good for Sandbox Games.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why you guys decided to bring me in for this episode.
So true.
Yes, that's why you're tied down to the chair. Just eat your sand and be happy, Logan.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm really happy to be here. I'm also tied in the basement of one of their houses. They won't tell me whose house it is, though. So somebody please help me.
Don't worry about it, Cupcake.
Who said it was one of our houses?
Oh, no. I'm in the basement of some random person's house. Please, Lord, help me.
All right, well, question number 2.
Yeah, question number
Yay. Why do you play video games?
Why do you play video games?
I play video games as a break from, just everything else going on. It's part of the reason why I don't really take games super serious for the most part. It's why I usually, if I'm playing a shooter game or a game that can be played competitively, you'll almost never find my behind in ranked, because I just don't enjoy that type of environment in games. I'm a sports person. If I want competitiveness, I go play sports. I play video games to just get the heck away from everything. It's also part of the reason why much to Guy's dismay, I don't like the Soul. I've never played the Souls games, that I kind of refuse to, because I know that I just won't have fun with them, because I will just be upset. I'll just be upset, and I hate it when I'm angry at video games.
Yeah, disagreeing with Guy, my favorite.
No, I completely understand that. But here's the thing. I actually play the Souls games for that reason as well, because, it sounds weird, but the Souls games to me are really, big comfort games for me. It's weird.
No,
everyone
finds their comforts differently from video games. Some people, like my younger brother, craves the competitive aspect of video games. That's why he loves Valorant and Apex. And for a while, he was a Fortnite kid. Oh god. Ugh.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Well, mostly Valorant and Apex now, but he craves that competitiveness, and he always tries to get me to play them with him. But I'm just not that good at them, and two, I just really don't play video games for that super competitive aspect.
No, I mean, that's understandable. When you got a busy schedule, I know a lot of my coworkers too, they just like games to chill, because you had a long shift at work or a long day of classes. You don't want to just get smoked in ranked or something. You just want to relax. That's really understandable.
You just want to borderline turn your brain off, chill, and have a good time. That's why I like Sandbox games.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's a big reason for a lot of people too. I mean, for some people it's like a comfort, it's a hobby, it's even a job. But it's it's easy, it's so fun. I love asking this question so much because it's always a different answer. And
although I will Although I will say this. For Satisfactory, for people who know the game, they'll know exactly they'll fully agree with the statement I'm about to make. Satisfactory, when you play it, can be almost as frustrating as Dark Souls if you don't enjoy it in the way I do. I enjoy it in a slightly like mentally masochistic way of trying to like absolutely streamline everything. Ugh.
I mean, again, people have their different ways of playing games, so even the same game can be enjoyed or hated in the same way.
Exactly.
Like, if you're a game journalist, you're gonna hate every game because it's too hard for you.
Uphead.
But if you're a normal person, you're just gonna play the damn game.
You're just gonna play the damn game and get better at it, or just drop it and say, you know what? I'm not good enough at this game. I know it no fun.
Lamau.
Yep.
Well, I think we should move on to our third question. Last but not least, if you were to replay any video game for the first time, what would it be? And why?
Okay, so this is actually a really kind of, in a way, awkward question for me because I don't really play a lot of games that are, in a sense, replayable. Like, you never, like, as you can probably gather, I like a lot of Sandbox games. There really isn't a finish to them. And then the other games I play are real-time strategy games where there's not really a finish to those either. There's just completing the current simulation, if you will, that you're on. Although if I had to pick like a story-driven game, it would probably be to go back and relive the wonders of playing Pokemon Black and White for the very first time on the DS.
Understandable.
Because that's one of the few games. That is one of the few games I've played that has a definite start and a definite end. It has like a definite story-wise start and end that I've actually played to completion.
That's a good pick.
Interesting.
That's actually a good pick.
Yeah. I mean, any childhood nostalgia game too, you just kind of wish you can go through it again with that same wonder and excitement.
Oh God, I have such an embarrassing story when it comes to Pokemon.
Is it with the shiny Pokemon?
No, it's arguably worse because I was a fucking idiot.
Don't worry, we were all idiots.
To today's topic.
Okay, so you know how when you get the Master Ball, you're supposed to use it on the Legendary, right?
Yeah.
You used it on a Purloin, didn't you?
I used it on a Rufflet.
Bruh.
Interesting choice, I'll give you that.
I didn't really realize that you only got my dumb child behind did not realize that you only got one of them, and that you were supposed to use it on the legendary Pokemon that you were going to have to try and capture later. So imagine the NPC surprise when I'm trying to catch when I'm trying to catch the legendary Pokemon. I forget how Black and White. I forget which one it was.
Reshiram, Zekrom.
Yeah, I can't remember. Okay, so I was playing Pokemon. Shit, wait. Was I playing Pokemon White? I think.
Okay, was it a dragon? Was it a dragon?
Yeah. What was the color of the dragon?
That's the thing. I can't remember which one. I know it was either Zekrom or Reshiram. However you pronounce the white.
Either way, it was one of the main legendary dragons.
Yeah, and so imagine the NPC surprise when I'm over here throwing like Ultra Balls at it.
You want to know the funny thing about that? The capture rate for that is like absurdly high. Like you can literally throw a quick ball and catch it easily.
Oh God, that means my luck must have been terrible. It took me a minute.
Yeah, fun fact by the way. Game Freak started doing this in their most recent games. But the main story legendary, they actually reduce the catch. They increase the catch rate for that legendary just so you have it. I think the only exception like nowadays is like Zacian and Zamazenta. They actually made that like the catch rate of 3, which is the standard.
Well, that's because Sword and Shield were bad games.
You're so right.
Dang. Sword and Shield doo-doo.
Well, you technically get Zamazenta and Zacian in a post game.
God.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
the fact that Pokemon games are locked to Nintendo consoles so hard because
We'll discuss this in a future episode, but Game Freak did say if Scarlet and Violet if the next games after Scarlet and Violet were to be as rushed as Scarlet and Violet, then Game Freak is taking their license away from Nintendo.
ooh,
It's huge, yeah.
I actually did not hear about that. That's interesting.
dang,
Yeah,
they
you know what?
putting the heat on Nintendo.
Well, I don't know if that's
Shoot.
Nintendo. That's Game Freak because they're like a secondary company.
They are, yeah. They're not first party, they're second party.
Yeah, which they produce only games for Nintendo, but they aren't like actually a part of Nintendo. They just affiliate with them a lot. Sort of like a Monolith Soft and a Xenoblade Games.
Mm,
That's an easy example. All right, you know what? We've talked about it enough. How about we have some fun with some Sandbox games?
more sand for me to eat?
Let's do it.
Yes, more sand for you to eat, Logan.
It's sand in a box?
We have all the
Sand in a
types of
box.
sand you can want. We have Hawaiian sand, we have boring Myrtle Beach sand, ash sand, glass sand. We have all the sand.
If you have ball sand, I don't think I'm going to touch that one.
You can have all the ball sand you want, Logan.
Let's not talk
Or
about
you're
ball
leaving
sand.
this basement.
Ball sand's kind of weird. I'm not
Some
even
of
gonna
that
lie.
one.
Alright, how about we define what a sandbox is? What do you guys think a sandbox game is, though?
Logan, I'll let you go first on this one.
I'd say a game. I'd say it's a game that allows you to like build and have a creative outlet, but it also has an open world type aspect to it and an exploration aspect.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, like,
'Cause-
you first.
Okay, because I was just gonna say, like, sandboxes, they can vary, and like some games that aren't sandboxes have a lot of sandbox element, but mostly a sandbox focuses on the creative freedom of the game, hence the name sandbox, because all the different things you can do in there. So, like, the biggest one, like, most everyone's played Minecraft. You can make about just whatever you want.
Yeah,
So-
Minecraft is the biggest sandbox. It just is.
Yeah, so just
Minecraft is
creative
like
freedom
the
in that way.
definition of a sandbox game.
Like, yeah, if you want a default when it comes to like sandbox video games in your mind, it should be either Minecraft
Pick
or Tears of the
Minecraft.
Kingdom. But Minecraft should come first.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom has sandbox elements, but it's not. I wouldn't say sandbox is its main genre. I'd say if you want like a complete sandbox, like Gary's mod, that's one everyone
Gary's
definitely
mod
knows.
is-
I completely forgot about that. Oh my god.
Gary's mod is the purest form of a sandbox and you can probably get in a video game.
Yeah, because every generation is growing up with Gary's mod YouTube videos. We grew up with them, and this generation is growing up with
You
Skibbity
can-
Toilet.
You cannot escape the YouTube poops that are Gary's mod videos. You
Can
can't.
someone explain to me what the fuck the skibbity toilet thing is? Because like,
No,
I
we're
see
not
that shit in
going
my
there.
recommended all the goddamn time.
Gone.
And for some
gone.
reason,
No,
it gets
no.
like 30 million views. I don't understand it.
It's because the modern generation is brain dead. They're so brain dead that they find this head coming out of a toilet saying random words funny. I refuse to talk more on this topic. It is dumb. It is frankly disturbing that it's considered humor.
Well, I know it looks a
Question
bit
humanity's
like
creation of it.
I know it looks weird, but at the same time, like when we were kids, at least ones that grew up with YouTube, we all grew up with some of those types of videos. So I don't want to hit on Skibbity too hard.
I was about to say, we've all watched our top 10 like Fairly Odd Parents or SpongeBob theories from Mojo. WatchMojo.com. Let's be for real.
Or watch a bunch of bad theories that say something like, "Oh, this show it was a character in a coma the entire time." Oh,
Yep.
where's your
Right.
evidence? Made it up.
Those stories, those ones are the ones that you're just like, well, dang,
But yeah, I mean,
that was a waste of time.
to be fair, y'all are gonna call me cringe for this. People making theories like that have a good sandbox mindset because they take something that they've
Oh
been
no,
given.
this should be
and
it's a
create their own
conspiracy
thing out of it.
mindset. It's a conspiracy mindset. It's not a sandbox mindset. It's
I'm connecting it to the episode.
In that case, MatPat's brain is a sandbox for us to play in.
Okay,
No,
Matt's
that
brain
is a valid argument.
It's something. I don't know what it
Get-
is, but it is
I
something.
don't know.
Get over here, Maddie. I want to
is-
understand FNAF lore.
It is amazing some of the theories that come out of that man's head because he does so much research into him that by the time you finish watching the video, you're like, damn, this is believable.
Dude, he recently had this wasn't a theory, but it was more so a test on his new channel, Style Theory, on what shaving products and stuff were the best, because everyone does different ways of shaving. So that was very interesting.
I should probably actually look at that video, because
You probably
I
should.
don't know if y'all have seen our quote-unquote face reveal video, but I have a beard. But
Yeah. That was interesting.
Going back to Sandbox Games, let's be for real though. Sandbox Games, legit. If I'm looking at some of my favorite games, if we're being technical, I think there are 3 or 4 games in my top 10 favorite games that go under Sandbox Games or Sandbox adjacent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or they just have sandbox elements are in almost every game because almost all games try to allow some freedom.
Yeah, of course.
For players,
Modern game style.
Because everyone loves self-expression. Even genres like fighting games, which look like they wouldn't have as much self-expression, we've had guests go on about how they love the ways they can express themselves in those games.
Exactly. I remember back to our guest episode with Jack. He actually talked about a good amount of why he loved Smash so much is because the movement felt so good and he was able to do a lot with it and how freeing it felt.
Yeah, so Sandbox is basically a big catalyst for all of that creative expression. It lets you just do whatever you want in your way, but it's guided along with the holding hands of the developers who made the game.
Is VR chat a sandbox?
That is a good question.
That's a great question, actually. Holy shit. Up for debate.
Depends on how you play it, but it can be a sandbox because there's a lot of user-made content and shit, I'd say.
I mean, it's kind of weird. That's an iffy question. But
I mean, at a base level for the game, no. But for all the creative content, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd say it probably falls more into the game of genre of a social game, but
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
definitely. But like we were saying before, sandbox elements can appear in other
very
games.
heavy sandbox elements.
Oh god, you can say, what's a good example? You can say
Well,
that the Souls games are sandbox games because there is no predeterminate way you should make your character or your build. You know what I mean? Because of that sandbox elements. You know what I mean? In that sense.
Well, I think the biggest way we can describe a sandbox is by looking at 2 very prominent ones that people also like to pit against each other because they're similar. So we have Minecraft, the one we mentioned before, and then we have Terraria. 2D Minecraft, as a lot of people would call it.
Gosh, I've been having so much fun playing Terraria lately with you, bro.
POV. You're playing Terraria, and then you realize it's 1 a.m. because you spent 5 hours playing.
Is that seriously how long you guys played last night?
Maybe.
Oh my lord.
You just don't realize how the time passes. Same with Minecraft too, but I feel like the difference is Minecraft, while I do love it, I prefer Terraria more because Minecraft leans more into all the creative freedom. Don't get me wrong, it does have its just regular survival mode where you fight all the enemies, you go to hell, get the stuff, fight the Wither, you're gonna go to the end and then fight the Ender Dragon, that. But Terraria has more of a focus on the adventure aspects of it, but it has the sandbox elements around it that make it a lot of fun. So you have the houses you can make, which at a base level, all you need in a house is light source, walls, blocks, and then a chair, table, and some doors.
I mean, you can't really Minecraft really can't say anything because at one point, all you needed for a villager to consider something was a house was a literal door and a block over it.
Okay, that is very funny.
Yeah, that's how you made it. That's how in older versions of Minecraft, I don't know, I can't remember which version they changed it in, but in older versions, that is how you basically made a air quotes village in a compressed area to get a bunch of villagers for trading with.
Well, again, I think that's more so a product of Minecraft, again, being like more so about its creative freedom. Whereas Terraria, the creative freedom it gives you allows you to go through the adventure in your own way. Like you have multiple classes you can play as, you have different ways to build your base, different biomes to explore, and then once you start getting into the later portions of the game, you have different ways you can like set up your house for raids and stuff, different wiring systems. There's a lot of shit in Terraria.
I am finding this out very rapidly and very quickly. Yeah, I just keep getting thrown something, being like, "Oh, here's a cool new thing," and I'm like, "What does this do?" And then I shoot it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, a great thing about Terraria is like, even though there are set classes, the way you play those classes can start getting very different because with the random drops you get from the enemies, a lot of times you'll use like a completely different weapon than you would have used in a different playthrough because it's like a 1% drop.
You can smack a zombie with a zombie arm.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people get that one, but still.
Y'all are gonna be calling me a fake gamer here.
You are
I've
a
never
fake gamer.
played Terraria once in my life.
I can't.
You're a fake and a fraud.
Guy, I can't say anything. It wasn't until this man over here introduced me to Terraria, I think literally last year, for a few times, and now we're actually playing it for real.
Well, you don't host a gaming podcast, so you're not a fake and a fraud, but Guy is.
At most, I call myself a casual gaming enthusiast.
Because for Guy, whenever he says he's going to start up a new game, that means he's got to replay 3 different Souls games first.
You're so right.
Oh god.
How long has it been since I lent you those Pokemon games, Guy?
A day.
No, it hasn't. Times that by like 600.
So it's been 2 years.
It has not been 2 years.
It's been a pretty damn long time, though, since he's had my Pokemon games.
Probably almost a year.
Since I lent him some Pokemon games to play, and he lent me Skyward Sword, I played through Skyward Sword within like a month and gave it back to him. I still haven't gotten my Pokemon games back.
Dang.
And have you even started them, Guy?
And I lent you Dark Souls 3.
You kind of just threw that in there. I didn't ask for that.
I also lent you Dark Souls 3, so yeah. Don't forget that.
Yeah, without me knowing. You kind of just threw it in the box.
Yes, because I was giving you 2 pieces of Peak.
You know what? I'm just going to ignore you for now. Mr. Sand Eater, do you want to talk about some better opinions than Dirt Eater over here?
Specific opinions on something, or do you want me to just start talking about Satisfactory?
You know what? Let's just start talking about Satisfactory.
Let's just talk about Satisfactory.
Okay.
That will satisfy me.
Talk to us about Satisfactory, because personally I've never played the game before, but I've seen like some stuff with it.
Explain to the audience what Satisfactory is about and what it is.
So Satisfactory is basically a okay. So if you know what Factorio is, it's similar but different. If you don't know what Factorio is, I'll just start from scratch. Basically,
I know what Factorio is, but you can still explain to the audience.
Yeah. So basically, you're dropped on a world, and the basic premise is a company says build. So you go out, you find resource nodes, you set up, you start mining the resources. I know it sounds a lot like Minecraft up until right now. Bear with me, it's not Minecraft. Then you build then you start crafting your first things. You start crafting some components and whatnot, and then you start crafting your first buildings. You start crafting mining stations, smelteries, constructors, and eventually And eventually, you have trains, buggies, whole transportation networks, busing resources from one base to another using drones, trains, transport trucks. You have nuclear energy, you have geothermal energy, you have, if you use certain mods, you end up with solar and hydroelectric energy. But you basically, the entire premise of the game is automation, and you're trying to just build this giant factory, and you can fine-tune things. Like, each recipe has a different craft time and a different input amount needed. And you can, like, sit there for hours trying to tune your factory to where there is zero downtime in anything, and that everything's perfectly, like, 100% efficiency and everything. And that's when the game kind of becomes AIDS to some people, is when you're trying to get that one to everything to, like, its peak out efficiency, because that can be a doozy.
Very interesting.
It's multiplayer, which is the best part. So you can torture your friends with it, or just have your friends come along for the journey of building an absolutely massive factory. Like, I put like 152 hours into a singular world.
How much time have you done in total for the game?
174, I think. Let me check Steam real fast.
Please do.
I just imagine joining your world, and then me just setting up like a goat torturing machine for no reason.
There are no goats in this game.
A goat, I can make something that looks like a goat and looks like it's being tortured.
Okay, so at current, I have 171.3 hours. I think 94-ish of which are, like, 94 to 100 of which are on a singular world that I basically started playing when I should have been studying for exams last year, because I was just so dead inside that I couldn't be bothered anymore for exams. Please don't tell my parents. I really hope they never see this, or I'll be in so much trouble.
They'd be like that.
We at Fetch Quest do not condone any procrastination. Please
Don't.
do your exam.
Study for your exams. Do not make my mistake. I highly regret it, but I was so fed up and done with everything. I just couldn't be. I just made the bad decision. But the thing is, I passed most of the exams. I just didn't pass the one that really mattered. So, I mean,
Well, hey, you know what? How about in Satisfactory, we make a machine that will help you study?
Impossible.
Or I make you go study in VR chat hell. Strap you down to a VR headset, and then I make you read all the textbooks in game and nothing else.
That doesn't sound fun. Y'all should play Satisfactory with me at some point.
No,
We should.
Yeah, I'm looking at some stuff for it. It looks fun, because I mean, like, to me, it looks like just like this big sandbox game that you build all these automated machines and whatnot. You doing it with friends, really fun. That's actually something I've been really motivated with recently with Baldur's Gate 3. Is that I really want to play that game in multiplayer.
Yeah, I want to play that one too.
That's actually a game that's come out recently that I really want to try. But
well, I mean, that's essentially D&D. Yeah, it's D&D.
It's just a visualization of D&D, which is literally awesome.
Yeah.
Would you say Baldur's Gate 3 is a sandbox as well, or has sandbox elements?
No.
Definitely sandbox elements.
Yeah. You want to talk?
Well, I wasn't gonna say sandbox. I meant to rephrase it as like, it just doesn't have sandbox elements.
It has elements because, like, obviously your choices and like what you do throughout the game like matter, but like the game has like a linear path that you have to follow, but the stuff that you can do along the way, like, it becomes non-linear. Like, you get what I mean.
Yeah, well, because the line can become very blurry for sandboxes. That's why I was asking, because again, what truly defines a sandbox is like its freedom, I think.
You know what?
Creativity.
I want to know. Give me a second. We can keep talking. I'm gonna look up what Google says the definition for a sandbox game is.
That actually be really interesting because like Google can like give like a very good definition or give like a very like offbeat kind of definition that still like kind of aligns with it.
Yeah.
I wanna ask this. What is our favorite sandbox video game, or like game with sandbox aspects?
That is tough. Maybe Terraria. I do also really like Animal Crossing.
What was the question?
What's our favorite? Obviously, I think I know the answer to this one, but like, what's your favorite sandbox game or game with sandbox aspects or sandbox adjacent?
Oh, this is actually really difficult for me because Minecraft holds a very fond and special place in my heart because it brought me together with one of my still to this day best friends.
Minecraft does that for a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. So like,
Yeah.
I have extremely fond memories of Minecraft, but honestly, as my actually no, I probably have way more hours in Minecraft than I do Satisfactory. But honestly,
Yeah, I was about
for
to say, Minecraft, like, is just like that game that everyone just loves, and it's a sandbox.
I would say probably for me though, it's Satisfactory to not go with the generic answer of Minecraft.
Well, I say just for preference, because again, I love Minecraft, but I love Terraria more.
According to Wikipedia, a sandbox game is a video game with a gameplay element that provides players a great degree of creativity to interact with, usually without any predetermined goal, or alternatively, with a goal that the players set for themselves.
Okay, so similar to what we've been talking about so far.
Wikipedia did a pretty good job, in my opinion.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job.
If we were to talk about my favorite sandbox game / sandbox adjacent, if we're going full, like, talking about full sandbox game, it has to be Minecraft for sure. I just love Minecraft so much. I have so many fond memories of it. I love the gameplay of it. I love the creative aspects of it. I love the worlds I've done with people.
Yes.
But if we're going to be talking about my favorite sandbox adjacent game, it'd probably be The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
How did I know you were going to say that?
I still love Tears of the Kingdom, but I can't view it as much as a sandbox. It definitely has sandbox elements, especially with the the fusion mechanics and stuff.
That's why I say adjacent. I mean, you can also say the same thing for Breath of the Wild, but that's why I say adjacent.
Yeah, because, like, again, the line's very blurry, so I'm thinking on some of my games, like, does this count as a sandbox, or does it not? Is Animal Crossing a sandbox?
Kind of count Tears of the Kingdom because like your adventure is based off like what you do. I mean, technically, you can say that for your own like every video game, but like to be like more precise with it, I'd say like the game doesn't end until you decide it ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's also because open world and sandbox games have a lot of overlapping values.
There's overlap, but I'd argue that Tears of the Kingdom is less of a sandbox and more of an open world game because there is an extremely definite end of the game, which is when you kill Ganon.
Ganondorf.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. But the thing is that you can kill Ganondorf or go fight him. Well, spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom. You can go fight Ganondorf like immediately after the tutorial, or you can play 155 hours, then go fight him, which is what I did.
I like how you say spoiler alert, but it's for something that's literally in the main trailer for the game. You fight Ganondorf. I had no clue.
100%
even though he's the bad guy.
Speedrun, let's get it!
So
people do that thing so quick. I think they got it under like half an hour now.
Oh wow, it's
really
down that much.
Probably less, a lot less actually.
Oh my god, I actually kind of want to look this up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Gosh, I wonder, does Small Ant still hold the world record for pencil sharpening?
I don't think he does anymore, but he had it for a good bit.
Okay, wait, that's a former. Okay, we're gonna be here for a while, guy. You look it up while we talk about sandboxes more. So, since we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, how about we just talk about the games with sandbox elements? So, start with Tears of the Kingdom, go on from there.
I'm going to be sort of useless in this one. Call me a false gamer, call me a heretic. I have not played Tears of the Kingdom.
It's alright, Logan, it's alright. That's why we have you in the basement. We're trying to indoctrine you. So, let me pitch Tears of the Kingdom to someone who loves sand. Well, more specifically, sandboxes.
So true.
Sandboxes and real-time strategy games. I love Age of Empires.
So
Age of
part of
Empires
why
baller.
part of why you will love Tears of the
Kingdom.
Kingdom is because
And there's tiers.
of the sandbox elements in it, where you can build anything you want,
Okay, not.
and you have not anything, but you have so many different ways to build in the game to
just
allow you to go on your
thought-
quest.
I kept thinking Tears of the Kingdom with Breath of the Wild. Oof.
Nah. I mean, they have similar aspects, though.
I mean, isn't Tears of the Kingdom technically a like continuation of
No, it's
Breath of
literally
the
a
Wild?
sequel. It's a sequel.
It's a sequel, yeah.
Okay. Just trying to make sure I have baseline knowledge.
Everything that happened in Breath of the Wild happened in Tears of the Kingdom because it's the same continuation of the story.
So same universe.
Yeah, same universe.
It takes place like 6 or 7 years after Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Dang.
Tears of the
It only
Kingdom,
It only took Ganon 6 years to remake himself.
Real.
something like that. It's a
No
weird
spoilers.
explanation.
Yeah,
So yeah, just play the game. While I'm pitching it to you, though.
I have no idea what happens in it.
Well, you
You have a lot.
Tears of the Kingdom, so you get the explanation.
All right, Logan, here's your explanation. So for Tears of the Kingdom, to approach puzzles or to fight, you go about it in literally any way you want. There is never a set path to do things. Because, well, if that's what you want to do, because
Yeah, you can
torturing
talk about torture.
torturing bokoblins is pretty fun. I prefer shock traps, though. I put cages around them, and then I shock them to death.
I used the goblin to shoot it at another goblin.
That
Someone's
or...
probably done that.
Yeah, no, someone's literally done that. I've seen it online.
Oh my god.
That
You-
is
you could-
amazing.
You can make a drone strike to kill a bunch of
Oh.
bokoblins, and I am not even kidding.
It's the drone. Oh god. I would abuse the power to be able to make rods of God so much.
And I know you love Gundams, Logan. You can make mechs and Gundams.
No.
He's not, even,
Yes.
he's not even joking
use-
about that. You can make your own, like, Gundam/Armor Core or whatever, yeah.
No. I wouldn't even go that far. I'd just be dropping like the equivalent of tungsten rods from World Hype.
That is something you can do,
You can
which is
do
why we love
a
it
lot.
for its sandbox elements. Like, one of the shrines in the game, in a
Because
shrine,
that's
Logan,
the whole puzzle.
yes, the main puzzles that you need to do to upgrade stamina and hearts. They're basically just the main little mini dungeons of the game. You go into them and you have to figure out how to go through them. One of them required me to like probably use the paraglider, an item that once it gets wind under it, you will glide or go up. I did not
Or if
have
you're-
it
or if
at
you're
that
like a
point.
certain altitude. If you're at like a certain altitude, if you press the jump button while you're in the air, you'll just glide with it.
Yeah.
My ADHD brain's acting up. You said up, and I immediately thought Doug.
But yeah, it's-
POV, you're flying in the ground. Oh wait, no, that's just Landorus. It's a ground and flying type.
But yeah, as you were saying, Burr.
But yeah, so to complete that shrine, instead what I did, because Tears of the Kingdom has a couple of tools. The first one I'm going to go over is the rewind tool, which is insane programming wise because it tracks the movement of like any object in the near vicinity to you. So if the object moved a little bit left because something kicked it, you can rewind it to go back to its original position. And if you move a bunch of items yourself with what's the exact name for it? Ultra Hand? Yep, Ultra Hand.
Yeah, Ultra Hand, yeah. Which he'll get into in a minute.
Yeah. It will track all the movements for that. So if you make it go up in a zigzag, a bunch of circles, it will reverse move that in that direction. So again, there's so many tools for the game. You can attach stuff together with Ultra Hand with Gorilla Glue. Because
Glue trademarked copyright Gorilla Glue.
Zorilla Glue. It's the Zelda version of it.
Smart.
Because personally, if I see a really big cliff I have to cross to get over to the other side, I just use the Zorilla Glue to make a really big bridge. But in this instance, to get over a wall that I was intended to like fly over, I grabbed a nearby fan. I moved it up and down a bunch of times. I jumped on top of it, and then I clicked rewind to make it go back to its position. And that's how I got through the shrine without using the intended method.
Which is crazy, by the way, because you can cheese so many shrines with rewind.
I cheesed so many damn shrines by using methods like that.
It's really funny, but it's just how it is.
Because I remember one of them, you're supposed to hit a switch, and I didn't know it was a switch. So I just didn't hit it. So what I did instead is I moved around the crank a bunch, and then I clicked rewind on it to open the door I had to get through.
Wait, is that the one you're talking about that's near the Shrine of Resurrection?
I think so.
Oh my god, dude, I was literally about to mention that when you showed me how you beat that the first time.
It was so funny.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's just a testament to really, like, how open Tears of the Kingdom is, because they give you these tools from the very beginning, and they literally just say, hey, do whatever the fuck you want, and you can really do whatever. Like,
you can fight whoever you want to?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, shit. Like, I made just from, like, looking at the internet and, like, understanding the game more, I was able to take, like, my materials that I gained and make myself an automatic robot that uses, like, a homing, it's like a homing head. It will always, like, look at an enemy.
Yeah, basically you made a drone strike.
No. I attached it to a small wheel with a stabilizer.
Oh.
Yeah, I flipped it upside down, attached it to a small wheel, and put a stabilizer on it. So what would happen is that small head would always steer that wheel into the enemy. So I attach flamethrowers and shock emitters on top of that, so I have an automatic mini cart that creates death and destruction.
Interesting.
That's faster than the Autobots. That like there's little bots you can have in the game that will also track enemies, but they're much slower.
Yeah, they're pretty slow.
But yeah, I essentially made that just out of pure like ingenuity, and it's so cool because that's one of thousands of examples that game has to offer for like ingenuity and building.
My personal ingenuity is there was like a big rock that fell from the sky, and I remembered something from SpongeBob where the pioneers traveled miles with those babies. So I took that advice to heart. I slapped some wheels and a steering wheel on that thing and a couple of weapons, and I ran over all my enemies while driving a big rock.
Oh, I remember you explaining this.
Yeah. Again, the game lets you do anything, and it's like a miracle program too, because you can slap a steering wheel on anything and it will function just like exactly how you want it.
It's crazy.
Somehow.
That sounds like you can make some absolutely cursed vehicles.
Oh, you can, because people made penis vehicles like literally in the first week of the game.
God, why is that the first thing that freaking boys' minds go to? Is can we make blank a penis?
Because phallic objects are funny.
Yeah, because one of the most popular clips was literally just like this big statue that was shooting out through its long stick.
It was shooting through its cylinder.
Yes.
And it was awesome.
That or all the contraptions people make to torture Koroks, because they deserve it.
Oh my god, that blew up on Twitter instantly. The game came out. Like, holy shit.
I still remember seeing all the posts of people crucifying Koroks.
It's
God.
crazy.
The Tears of the Kingdom community kind of brutal.
Koroks deserve it. Play the game and you will find out why.
Okay, you can't actually like kill them. They'll just say,
ouchie.
So you're essentially infinitely torturing immortal beings. I think that's more brutal and cursed than just outright torturing to death.
Yeah, like in my case, I had to transport one along the water to get it to another Korok friend to get the seeds I needed. And I could have made a really efficient boat to just easily get it over, but I didn't want to use any material, so I kind of slapped together what was around there. and inefficiently moved that thing and waterboarded it the entire time.
Shout out to
And
our
again,
one
I
video, Brewer waterboards a Korok.
Yeah, which again, I could have made a better
New
vehicle,
YouTube short. Hey.
but I just didn't feel like it. And even though it was stupid slow, like a millimeter per minute, it was still more important in my mind to torture Korok.
Speaking of YouTube shorts and YouTube in general, this is actually my third appearance with you guys.
Oh yes, we didn't mention
Yes!
Logan's first appearance with us is when we threw dice at him,
And it was awesome.
I am Dice Man.
master of the dice.
It's crazy because like we checked that video like that short an hour after it got published, and it instantly became like our most popular short at the time.
Over 2,000 people have seen our friend Logan getting dice thrown at him while he tried to bring me a birthday present.
Yes, that's the funniest part. Like, none of the dice hit me. They all hit his present. He hit his own present with dice.
That was very funny.
That was pretty funny. But
Yeah, no, it was all in good fun. I'm glad I could be a part of this channel.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to throw it in your face because that could hit your eye and hurt, so I just wanted to throw it at your chest.
I'm very thankful that you threw it at chest height and not face height.
I try to be mindful of how I torture my friends.
so true.
Speaking of which, do you like the little vibration feature on the chair I strapped you to?
I think it broke within the first 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a shame. At least the air conditioning is working for the basement.
No, that died.
Damn it.
I'm sweating really bad. Like, can I get some water? Can I get some water? I don't care if you guys like water poured me. I just need some water, man.
We'll give you some water. I think I may have accidentally put you in Liam's chamber.
Oh, Jesus.
Y'all got more than one person down here?
Jesus
I mean, we
Christ.
just torture Liam all the time. But that's like my own personal, like, real life sandbox. How can I torture Liam? Because there are a lot of sandbox games that are literally just torture this person.
Kick the buddy.
Yeah, kick the buddy, beat the boss. They give you a bunch of tools to beat them up however you want.
True. I want to talk about a different sandbox now. Like Tears of the Kingdom is like
Stardew?
I love me some Stardew Valley.
I hate that I've not put a good amount of time into Stardew Valley because I know it's really
I haven't.
good.
Other Logan can tell you exactly how many hours I put into Stardew.
I think about 25. So it's still a decent amount, but considering like all the content in the game, that's nowhere close to finishing it.
Oh no, we are. I usually only play it with him.
I mean, it is more fun with friends, but I personally played it by myself first, and it's probably the best farming game I've ever played. I put over 100-something hours into it.
Bro, I can't wait for the next Nintendo Direct where they announce more JRPG farming simulators.
Those are just my favorite. I love those.
Dude, they're so good.
Well, I do love JRPGs and I do love farming games, but at the same time, I hate them because they take so long to beat.
So true. Shout out to Rune Factory 5 for Brewer.
Oh yeah, that one took me a while,
Yeah,
especially because it wasn't as good as Rune Factory 4. Well, I still spent more time in Rune Factory 4 because it was a better game.
Brewer, you know my fond name for Stardew Valley, the butchered version of it, right?
I can't remember. It's been so long.
Fun fact, I like to call Stardew Valley Tardew Alley.
the dyslexic version of Stardew Valley.
What
The
the
dyslexic English is not my first language.
It's okay, Logan.
Jesus
Fun
Christ.
fact. I actually have minor dyslexia. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now that I think about it, I think farming games also usually overlap with sandboxes a lot because they're trying to let you have a farm that you can raise on your own and build it in your own way, make a profit in your own way. So a lot of farming games overlap with that genre as well, even if not intentional.
Like
Because some of them have lighter farmer elements, like Rune Factory, like you mentioned. the farming elements, like, they're still very important, but its other half with like the combat and stuff doesn't display that as much. So like I'd say Stardew Valley or just Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons as it's
Harvest
called now.
Moon. I have Harvest Moon on a jailbroken arcade cabinet running RetroPie in my base at the basement of my house. It's amazing. I haven't been able to see by the basement of my house in months. Please, somebody help me. Please, someone send help.
Bro, you're gonna when we send you back to your house, you're gonna see like one of your family members. You're gonna hear something. You're like, what the hell is that? You're gonna walk downstairs. One of them's gonna be addicted to it. You're just gonna find them playing it at 3 a.m. Like, yes, I can max out my friendship with her. Oh, yes. Oh, I love farming.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can fuck your NPCs in Stardew Valley, right?
You can romance.
Yes, no, you can have kids. You can have kids with them.
Oh my fucking god, my new favorite game.
I think it says a lot about you guys.
Yeah, I was about to say my favorite game. You can already date like 10 different women at the same time, so yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, I do like the characters in Stardew Valley. They're not like the deepest characters you'll ever find out there, but they're all just like a lot of really fun personalities that had a decent amount of thought put into them that make the town feel like actually lived in. Because like a lot of other farming games, they have their own schedules, so you're not always going to be able to find them at a single spot. They have their own hobbies. If you give them an item, they have stuff they like and dislike. It's just a lot of fun.
There's variety. The spice of life.
Yeah, because again, Stardew Valley is still getting updated to this day. Not as much since the developer, Concerned Ape, is working on his new game. I think Haunted Chocolatier, if that's correct. Something Chocolatier, I think. But it just has a lot of different elements in it to let you play the way you want to. Because if you want to, like, straight up just go into the mines, do that. If you yearn for the mines, like all the mines, like all the children Elon employs for his lithium, then there you go. You can go yearn for the mines.
God, freaking electric cars are a scam in terms of their net positivity.
Well, let's not go into that because we'll be here all night talking about that. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I just had to get that statement out there.
No, you're right. But like the Stardew Valley, like I know when I was playing with you, Logan, I would focus on the fishing a lot just because I really like the fishing.
I sucked at the fishing. I sucked at the fishing mechanic.
Since you hated for the fishing, you would yearn for the mines, yearn for the farming. You do everything else. So that's another creative expression you have with the game.
Fishing level 0. Everything else was level at minimum 3 by the last time I checked.
No, it was higher, I think.
No, it was 4. I think I had foraging at 5. Oh my god, I did so much foraging.
Yeah, again, that's just a great aspect of the game because it keeps rewarding you for the way you want to play. I do encourage you play all the different ways, including fishing, Logan. But
hey, the second time around, I actually got a fishing level.
Good job, Logan. You get a gold star now.
You were there. I suffered through trying to learn the dang fishing system. I, for some reason, just absolutely suck at the fishing mechanic.
It's okay, Logan. Now go catch one of the legendary fish.
No, you can't make me. You literally
if you want food tonight, go catch the legendary fish.
Joke's on you, I'm a wrestler, I'm used to starving.
Dang it, he's right. I can confirm that fact because I starved myself as well.
Bruh. Just a little sidetrack here, like from farming games, like technically my favorite one because I still have not put enough hours into Stardew Valley. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh yeah.
I have not played Animal Crossing.
Technically that had farming.
Release Sister Doom.
Kind of farming.
I mean, it had farming added, but its sandbox elements I don't think have anything to do with farming.
It's similar enough.
Well, at least not crop farming. If we're talking about farming for bells, the currency in the game, yeah. Yeah.
See, the main difference between Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley is that you can't fuck the villagers.
I would hope not. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I mean,
Don't tell Twitter that.
Some
Don't
people,
Twitter
are
that.
some people are into anthropomorphic creatures.
We call
Go
those
on
And I
Twitter,
will
Logan.
not judge them.
we call
There's
those
too
birds.
much interesting art of Isabel online.
And on
Yeah,
Twitter.
no, let's not go there. It's there if you know where it is and what it is, but we ain't saying no more.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about the fun aspects of Animal Crossing,
So true.
Fishing.
Yeah, but with Animal
especially
Crossing,
with.
you first.
I was gonna say, especially with its new release Horizons. Well, not new, but its newest release Horizons. That one, while it did take away some fun stuff that I do miss, it does have like a lot more creative freedom, especially because you can like literally terraform the whole island if you want to.
Which is awesome, by the way. It just adds to like a lot of the customization of the game because you can literally make the island however you want, and it's awesome.
Dude, if you go online and look at some people's islands, it's like, oh my god, they spent so much time on it, but it looks so pretty.
So true. I love
Like-
what I've done with mine is that my flag for my island is the nice cock image from Shadow the Hedgehog.
My island, I called it capitalism, so I tried to base it around just like having a lot of stores and stuff and taxing my villagers.
It's awesome.
He embraced his Americanism.
Oh yeah, and I gave everyone guns.
He truly embraced Texas America.
And then, like true America, I decided to ignore it for a couple of years since I haven't touched Animal Crossing in a hot minute.
That's fair. I mean, really, like,
Ah,
you can-
America.
you can
Tiny
go
hunting
with Animal
random
Crossing and it just
Pokemon.
kinda ends.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have as much creative freedom as like Minecraft does for the Infinite. But I mean, you say that, but most people when they drop Animal Crossing is like, man, this game isn't fun anymore. I have to drop it, and then it's like 150 hours played.
So true. That doesn't
'Cause
mean
no-
you shouldn't play the game though, because it's so much fun. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
don't get me wrong. I do wish they had
Any
more
game
updates.
that you
But
can get 150 hours of fun out of is a good game.
the thing is, that's low compared to some people, because some people put like 500 hours in Animal Crossing. They're like,
Oh, I know
man,
people
why
who've
am I
put
burnt
thousands-
out?
I know people who've put thousands of hours in the New Horizons.
Yeah, I mean, like Lou was saying earlier, for like why he plays games, it's literally the most feel-good game of all time. You just go around, you fish, you chop down some trees, you give gifts to villagers. When you explain Animal Crossing, it sounds like the most boring shit ever, but
it's
actually
so
playing
much
it,
fun.
I think,
Yeah.
bro, I think you just literally helped me realize the exact reason why I find Satisfactory so much fun, because it tickles the engineer part of my brain in a video game in such a way that it's fun.
You would love
Yeah.
Animal Crossing. You would love Animal Crossing. I'm not even kidding.
Animal
think
Crossing
I
is so
would, though.
much fun. Logan, I'm telling you, you will learn to love Animal Crossing.
Dude, you
Everyone
would love Animal
does.
Crossing. I'm not even kidding. If you love Satisfactory, you would love Animal Crossing.
How can you say that? You've never even played the Satisfactory before.
With the way
I
you
know it
explain
now, but now-
Satisfactory,
Yeah, I was about to say, you literally explained it.
that all the elements in the game. We think we would like to recommend you Animal Crossing.
Animal Cross New Horizons.
If I have the spare money between college and other necessary food purchases, seeing as I don't have a meal plan right now.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, I would also need a whole Nintendo Switch.
I have my old Nintendo Switch, Logan, because I have 2 Switches. Because I make bad financial decisions.
That is the story of your life. Although honestly, your definition of a bad financial decision honestly is nothing compared to what most people would genuinely consider a bad financial decision, because your quote unquote bad financial decisions are actually recoverable from. Like, you already have plans in place to recover from them. Most people, when they say bad financial decision, they have no way of recovery.
Dude, I don't know why so many people go out and keep buying new cars. I'm like, how can you afford that?
I'm sorry, but if you're trying to find something to invest in, don't do NFTs, don't do cars, don't do cryptocurrency, stock market, or real estate.
Well, I'm just talking about like having fun, like stuff. Like for me, is like, man, I made a bad financial decision.
Unless you're a
I spent
car
$100 on Pokemon cards.
Oh my
god,
Look, getting back on track on Sandbox Games, I think we've done a good job of like giving some like good examples for Sandbox Games, such as Animal Crossing, Tears of the Kingdom, the obvious ones being Terraria and Minecraft. And I think we've done a pretty good job of like, what exactly a sandbox game is and like how games, like pretty much most video games, can have sandbox aspects. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
like
very hard to fight.
We mentioned it, and it's painful to mention this because it hurts my chest when I say its name. But Fortnite has sandbox elements.
Yay!
God, no. Why did we all? Oh, I feel like we almost made it through the whole thing without mentioning it.
I know. But even before it got its like whole creative mode thing, whatever it is, even in its first update,
dude,
a lot of the reason it was appealing.
The best version of the game removes its ability.
Unironically, Zero Build is the best.
The best version of Fortnite removes its only sandbox element of it. That should say something about whether it should be considered a sandbox or not.
I know. I'm just mentioning though, because that is what drew people in initially before people became crazy at building and they built skyscrapers whenever they got shot once.
That is true.
God. That was the main problem of Fortnite was, in my opinion, as a shooter game, it failed in the fact that you could build cover absolutely anywhere at any time, and it essentially forcibly made an aspect of the game where you absolutely 100% have to be good at this.
It'd be like that.
But I think that's why, again, at the beginning, people liked it more because everyone was kind of bad at it, or there was only a couple people that were good at it. But now, if you jumped into Fortnite, and not the no-build mode, but like regular building mode, you basically were expected to like climb that ladder and get to the same building capabilities. Because I saw my little brother playing Fortnite a couple years ago when he was like 13, and he was doing some crazy stuff. You'd hear his controller go off. It was like ding, 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 because he'd be building things so fast. Yeah, like a machine gun. Absolutely absurd.
Keyboard people literally breaking keyboards just from overuse of the keys.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that is the thing to consider with sandbox elements, and I think we've done a really good job of that. And unfortunately, I do think we need to start wrapping up because we are reaching that 1 hour mark. But any lasting thoughts we want to talk about with sandbox games before we wrap up today's episode?
If you are an FPS player, try a sandbox game. Just try it. I don't particularly like your genre, and you might not like my preferred one, but just try one.
You know what? I think with sandboxes, what I've always said is like video games can be a good way to express yourself, and also just like even people that hate them should just, I think, try a couple of them at least.
Like I've actually, even though I suck at them and I don't particularly like them, I've played Apex. I have played.
Oh, I was talking about sandboxes.
I've played Valorant. No, but I'm saying like for me as a sandbox player, like to say that like you say you should at least try them. It's like I'd say if on the opposite end of the spectrum from sandbox is FPS games, and like as a sandbox slash real time strategy game enjoyer, I have played first person shooters. I'm not particularly good at them, but every now and again I enjoy just going into them. I've played Halo Infinite was probably the most fun I had in a first person shooter.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking is like even for people who don't like video games, like any at all, I think sandboxes are a good way to get them into that because everyone wants to express themselves in a certain way, and like games like Minecraft are so popular because they let you do that.
Video games.
It lets you tingle any aspect of your brain that you want by just letting you have fun and build.
Here's my thing. I think people who don't like games like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Minecraft, Terraria, I think people who don't like those games are not creative enough. No, I'm being serious, because like those games are entirely based off like how you think.
How abstractly can you think?
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. I do think sometimes it is nice to have a more like set and linear experience. Like getting,
No, I enjoy that sometimes.
like I think I see it as just enjoying the developers' creativity. Because whenever I see people saying, "Well, you should do a book instead of video games," because you use your imagination more in books by the wording the author uses. Well, that's still good, and I do still love reading some.
Reading
With video-
is amazing, kids.
with-
Read a book. Read
video-
a web novel.
Yeah, well, video games, the way I see it is you're experiencing the developers' like creative intent in the most literal way possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but we can talk about linear games in a different episode. But yeah, I think that's really gonna wrap up the conversation in terms of Sandbox Games. Logan, I loved having you on this. I think you bring such a good dynamic to at least the three of us, because like you're able to bounce off so well, and I really enjoyed having you as a guest. I really want to do more guest appearances, and I just love doing shit like this. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and I enjoyed finally having a guest I invited of my own instead of all of them being guys' friends.
Shut up.
Now I have my friend from high school. Well, he's also your friend, but
Well, actually, no, dude. We've been friends since way before high school. Remember, our friendship started on a baseball team with 3 other dudes named Logan.
yeah. Before we end, let's give some Logan lore and Logan Brewer lore. Of the baseball team we were on that had like 5 Logans.
Both of our dads made up the coaching staff.
And I'm pretty sure there was like 2 Logans that had last names with the same initials, so you couldn't even go Logan S, Logan B, Logan R, because at the end of the day, you say Logan, and all of our heads would pop up like gophers.
Our coaches basically would just yell Logan, and during a practice, we'd all look. During a game, we'd just basically try and figure out who was the most likely to be getting yelled at out of the 5 of us, and that person would just hazard a guess and respond.
Lamau.
Yeah. Gotta
You
love some
laugh.
Logan lore.
But that was the reality of that team.
What is more in depth, Logan lore or FNAF lore?
Probably. We haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the lore between the 2 of us.
The Logan lore. The lore of Logan squared.
But I guess to get more of it, you guys will have to bring me on for a different episode.
You're so right.
We'll explain the lore by doing a Minecraft playthrough. We'll build the world.
We could just do a Minecraft Let's Play and just talk about the lore and just random topics. That would
And while
be
you
a
explain-
great series.
And while you explain the lore, I can just build penises in the background because that's my version of creative freedom.
But that's it. But yeah, you're gonna have to find it in another episode. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode.
I enjoyed you guys having me on so much.
I know we enjoyed having you, man.
Yeah, dude, this was so much
was-
fun. I'm so glad we did this.
This was great fun. If you guys ever want me to come back on, you guys ever need help with anything, just ask me.
Yeah, of course.
No problem.
Yeah, of course. Dude, you're definitely welcome here anytime. Anytime you have like a new topic that you want to talk about, dude, please bring it up and we will have you on.
Real-time strategy games. Let's go.
And I think you've earned the right to leave the basement.
God, I get to see my family again. Well, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Yeah. All right. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. We've been your host. Thank you very much. Good night.
I've been
Yeah,
looking.
and please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And specifically, comment what your favorite Sandbox game is.
True. Yes. But with that being said, thank you guys very much. Fetch Quest out.
Adios, boys.
Bye.